Let's take a look at this problem. We're given sine alpha is equal to negative 5 over 13, 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi. Well, 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi would be quadrant 4. And we're given tangent beta is equal to negative 8 over 15. And from pi over 2 to pi, which would be the second quadrant. And we want to find cosine of alpha plus beta. Well, if we come over here, we'll write down our formula. So it'll be the sum identities, the cosine specifically. And I'll replace the x with alpha and y with beta. So we're going to have cosine alpha, cosine beta, minus sine alpha, sine beta. So those are the 4 items we need. Well, we're given one of them, sine alpha. Let's take a look at the alphas first. So we're given sine alpha is equal to negative 5 over 13. And sine is y over r, so that's y, and this is r. So we need x. So we got x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. X squared plus y is negative 5, so we got negative 5 squared is equal to 13 squared. So we got x squared plus 25 equals 169. Take 25 over, becomes a negative 25. And we get x squared is equal to 144. Yeah, 144. Then we'll drop our squared, square root property, and put a plus or minus square root around the other side. Now in quadrant, what quadrant are we in? Quadrant 4, the x values are positive. And square root of 144 is 12. So we're going to get x is equal to 12. So then we can get cosine alpha. Cosine alpha is equal to x over r. X we just said was 12. R we said is 13. So that's our second piece of information. Well, let's look at betas. Tangent beta. Now we're looking at our second quadrant. In our second quadrant, the y values is positive, and tangent's y over x, and we're saying y is negative here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that negative and put it in the denominator. You have to really look at the quadrant you're in order to figure out where the sign should go. Tangent is y over x, and let's think about the signs now. In quadrant 2, y values are positive, so that works. In quadrant 2, the x values are negative, so that works. So that's our x and y. Well, let's find r. So we've got r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. R squared is equal to negative 15 squared plus 8 squared. So r squared is 225 plus 64. R squared is equal to 289. Drop your squared, put a plus or minus square root on the other side. And r can't be negative, so r is going to equal to, I think, 17. Let me check. Yeah, 17. Okay, so now we need sine beta. Sine beta is equal to y over r. Y we said was 8 over r, which is 17. We also need cosine beta, which is x over r. And x we said was negative 15 over r, which is 17. So those are other 2 pieces of information we need. So now we're ready to plug it in. Cosine alpha is 12 over 13 times cosine beta, which is negative 15 over 17, minus sine alpha, which is negative 5 over 13, times sine beta, which is 8 over 17. Okay. 12 times 15 gives us 180. So negative 180 over 13 times 17. $221. Negative negative becomes positive, and that's 40 over 221, which gives us negative 140 over 221. Question is whether that simplifies or not. If I did negative 140 divided by 221 in my calculator, and then math, enter, I see it doesn't simplify, so this would be our answer.